Just when you start to sit down and think that, okay, you have probably seen a ton of out of the box film, and what else could a filmmaker do in a certain genre? In comes a movie like Maaveeran. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel guys, and yes, in this video I will be talking about the Tamil film Maaveeran, which stars Sivakarthikeyan. And I know this review is very late, but I watched the film a little bit late. I couldn't catch this film when it actually came out in the theaters, so I watched it after it released on OTT in Amazon Prime, and after that also I watched it quite late. But here I am finally talking about the film because this movie is absolutely worth it. If I have to really describe this movie in just one line, I would say it's 50% reality, 50% fantasy, and 100% riveting. The story starts in the vibrant hues of Chennai, where we meet our protagonist Satya, who, well, in a nutshell, is a very timid soul. He doesn't like being in the limelight. He prefers to stay away from conflict of any kind, and he's extremely content by letting another person take the limelight for his Maaveeran comics. So yes, he's an extremely talented artist, but he's okay with giving away the credit to somebody else. But fate, as we say, has a way of drawing its own story. Satya, who we see from the beginning would do anything to avoid any kind of conflict, suddenly takes the center stage as a superhero. And how he becomes a superhero is also extremely interesting to watch. Satya's journey from penning down the valiant tales of the character that he created, that is Maaveeran, to becoming the protagonist of his own epic saga is an exhilarating watch. And the first thing that we think about when we think of superhero is courage, and our protagonist is far from courageous. The only thing guiding him is the voice that he keeps hearing, which is done so well by Vijay Sethupathi. So the contrast between his actions as Maaveeran and the fear on his face as Satya, when they clash together, it makes up for such a fun watch. The way the character has been written out and the way the story also has been written out, one thing which I kept thinking while watching the film, how the hell did they come up with this awesome idea? The film very tactfully deals with corruption and bravery, but what is truly captivating is its ode to the idea that sometimes courage isn't about facing external enemies, but combating our innermost fears. An entire arc of Satya realizing that what is actually right, for what cause you need to actually stand up, letting go of your fears, everything just comes into fruition at the end so well. And it doesn't feel forced at all. It feels extremely organic. So this entire storytelling, which is backed by such amazing direction by Madonne Ashwin, I was already confident of this movie after seeing the trailer. And I watched his previous film Mandela, so I knew that the way he will narrate the film, the way he will direct this film is going to be very nice. But I enjoyed it more than what I was expecting it to. For me, the cinematography takes a higher precedence than the background score here, because the way this film also has been shot, it's spectacular to look at. Also, the action scenes, the combat scenes, it's not very sleek. It's actually a little abrupt also, but it looks great because it's not supposed to look very sleek and stylish, even though it's a superhero film. And you would think that, okay, for a superhero film, the action shots need to be extremely larger than life. But no, it's so simplified, it's little haphazard, and that is what the intent of showing those action scenes are, because he's actually a common man. So the cinematographer did a fantastic job. Also, one more thing I want to specifically point out, which I did not previously, is the comedy. The way all the comedic scenes have been written, the way the actors acted out those scenes, the comedy completely worked for me. The entire ensemble cast gave fantastic performances, with Sivakarthikeyan completely stealing the show as Satya. You know, playing that timid, scaredy cat who just doesn't want any trouble at all, but in contrast writes such amazing stories, is so talented. And then his complete origin story as Maaveeran, it just worked fabulously. He was so good in his role. From my point of view, how I look at this film is that this is a journey where you go through this dimly lit lanes of self-doubt, where you feel that you are not worth anything and whatever you do, nothing is going to really impact the world, transitioning it to a broad daylight self-realization of courage within. Something like giving the voice to the voiceless, because a lot of people think that, oh, if you are a common man, because this is kind of the reality, that if you are a common man, you really cannot compete with people who are in power, who are part of the system. And this movie kind of gives a superhero twist to that story, but essentially what I found that this movie tries to tell, like, as a common man also, you can raise your voice against the system, you can be brave. Yes, there will be consequences, but if you stand up for what is right, the result of it, the conclusion of it can be something which is absolutely marvelous and magical. Personally, for me, in the end, I would say that I enjoyed this movie thoroughly, and I really don't have any negative critique about it. And I watched it twice, by the way. For the first time I watched it in Tamil, because in the original language, and I loved it so much that second time I made my family also watch it, and I watched it in Hindi. So one thing about the Hindi dub also I want to comment is that I found the dub quite good, because the jokes in Hindi were also quite funny. So yeah, I'm very happy with the Hindi dub also. And yeah, that's it. That was the review, guys. Those are my thoughts on Maaveeran. What a fantastic film. Loved it. I would say, I think this movie will also end up in my list of the best films of 2023 for sure. And yeah, that was it, guys. If you watched this film, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The pros, cons, if you liked it, did not like, share your thoughts here. And yeah, with that, I will end this video here, and I will see you soon on my next one. Bye.